Hey y'all, what's up? How we doing? Ugh, I bumped my tablet a little. Hold on, let me turn this. This is probably loud for you. Down, boy. Software I'm using to play music is called Music Bee, so I imagine myself like training my pet bee. Hashtag my bee. We're gonna be maybe a little louder. That's better. Maybe fuck, dude. Okay, so I'm gonna be doing art tonight. Let me collect myself. I'm gonna be drawing. I'm gonna be doing requests that I received in the Discord and on my Tumblr. If you're not in my Discord, which is I find hard to believe, considering usually the early birds in chat are already, but for anybody watching the VOD later, I suppose this wouldn't work for you, but Twitch chat, you can use !Discord to get the link. And if you're watching the VOD, I guess you can get fucked. Hi, Candy. Love the stream title, Candy. Thank you. I have already preliminarily, I took the opportunity before the stream started, is what that, I think word means, is that I took the initiative and did it before this began. New word of the day. I took it upon myself to start stinking up the room before you got here. Is preliminarily a word? That feels like I made that up, but it probably is real, right? Logistically speaking, that is how you would extend that word. I'm the only dickhead stupid enough to use a word like that. I can't help it. I love big words. It makes me feel smart. And sometimes people don't know. Anyway, enough about my huge brain and, frankly, startlingly impressive intelligence. We're gonna be drawing tonight. It's gonna be a little. It is a word. Yes. Oh, you have no idea how hard I just popped off. A couple things. I'm gonna be, this is gonna be a very, not egotistical, but I'm just gonna be having fun on this one. This isn't gonna be working on commissions or requests. Well, it is partially. It's gonna be a lot of me drawing myself, because that's what I do when I am trying to break an art block. I indulge. This is going to be an indulgent stream, is the word I was looking for. I'm gonna be trying a couple other things once I've gotten warmed up, but I love my Sona. Everybody love me. Everybody love how I look. And I got some cool ideas and some cute ideas and some fun ideas from the very helpful people that follow me and the people in my Discord. There's a sleepy rat using the other sleepy rat as a pillow. That makes me so happy. You have no idea. I'm thinking about two rats now, and I just got really excited. I put a whole bunch of new music in my play. Ah! My tablet pen! Fuck, I was playing with it and I dropped it. Okay, it's in my hand now. It was like a wily little animal that jumped out of my fingers. You know how it is. I've put a whole bunch of new music in the music playlist. I have fixed the titles and the names so everything is credited properly. I know I should have done this already, but when you download like 300-something tracks off of a giant YouTube playlist, the auto downloader tries its best, but it didn't have the right information. But it should be completely updated now. And there's a whole bunch of new tracks. If you don't like jazz, this is not going to be a good stream for you, because there's a lot of like jazz and funk tracks. But fuck you if you don't like jazz. I love jazz, and I'm tired of people making a big deal out of it. Jazz is important music, it's good music, and it's great for a lot of occasions. Jazz is one of the few genres you can fuck to. Can you say that about anything else? I mostly like music I can fuck to. If you can't fuck to your music, what's the point? Anyway. Fuck to or kill to. But, like, usually those... Not usually. I have a skewed perspective. Sometimes the two intersect. Jazz is cool, and it's important culturally as well. Hi, Tommy Gun Cult. I am doing well, thank you. one more thing I've just got to brief y'all on. I did, about an hour ago, take a yummy. I imbibed the silly. I don't drink. I didn't drink, but I think you catch my drift. And it's starting to hit. So if I don't make sense or I trail off, I apologize. I almost broke my nose today, and I just want to chill. We're just gonna have a good time, chat. We're gonna have a good-ass time. Oh, man. We love funk music, don't we? I'm sorry if you can't read Japanese. I guess that makes these tracks kind of hard to find, huh? Hi, Garden Snail. You know, it's nice to have somebody to look forward to. Ooh. Sorry about that. To come clean up my plants and shit from my garden. Alright, let's start with... Oh, I didn't even have the Tumblr page pulled up. Something's wrong with me. Blank canvas, huh? You know, people always say the blank canvas is intimidating, and like, I get that. This track seems kind of loud. Oh, I didn't balance all the tracks again. Oops. Well, if it becomes a problem, I'll do it. Oh, this track is from Persona. That's why I don't recognize it. I put a whole bunch of new tracks in here that I listened to for like 30 seconds, and then was like, oh, this is good. So a lot of these I haven't heard before either, but most of them I have. This is good. I have chosen not to play Persona because, and not that it's Persona's fault, but I don't want to play any more games or like consume any more media where you like play as someone in school. At least for right now in this point in my life. This Krita, no, this is Clip Studio Paint, which I got a full license for a little while ago when it was on sale, and my god, this is so worth it. This is an amazing software. And to navigate Clip Studio Paint, I have this open, which I think you'll like because you can see like, well, egg on my face. I press the save button. I will be using a Tor box, which is why, like, I'm able to switch tools and stuff so quickly. It's all macros. I highly recommend one of those if you do PC artwork a lot. Although you could swap it with any numpad that you make bindings for. The Tor box is basically just a funny controller for PC, and I love how wonky it looks. I'll pull up an image of this, actually. I got mine secondhand. I don't recommend you pull the full... Good lord. I don't recommend you pay the full price for one of these. However, because I didn't, that makes it worth it. Look at this thing. Look at this fucking animal. Look at this weird... That almost feels like a cake covered in fondant, like you'd see on Cake Boss. Like, I want to take a bite out of this. But, like, all of these buttons and shit, for those of you new here, I love controllers. It's my special interest to top all special interests. I love controller history. I love bad controllers. And yes, exactly. This is a stim toy. But it's a stim toy that makes the colors and lights on the screen change. And you can make pictures with it. It's an amazing stim toy. And if you can get your hands on one of those secondhand, it's absolutely worth it. Actually, if this doesn't bother anyone, maybe it'd be cool to kind of see what I'm doing. You'd be able to see all of my shortcuts and whatnot. That could be cool. It's like a fucking, let me remember all of my... I had this one? Where's my thing for... Oh, am I on the wrong... You do have to set up your own macros for this. And is the top button, I always forget. Top button. I do think it's awesome. I'm glad you agree. There we go. So you can't see everything I'm pressing, but... Yeah, basically, it's controller cam for this stream. It's even got its own cute little box. Okay, so the first suggestion I believe I received was from Acid Hydra who requested to see some manner of evil wizard outfit. Usually what I do, speaking of intimidation of a blank canvas, that's something I was talking about, like, I don't know, 10 minutes ago. Is everything good, by the way? Audio levels, chat? I would appreciate your input on this. It's very hard to gauge from inside the stream, just by the levels and the bars. Usually when I have art block, I just, like, and I think I've talked about this on stream before, but I just look up, like, somebody else's art on Tumblr, or, like, usually quieter music. Oh, okay, the music's alright. Okay, cool. If it should be louder, if y'all can't hear it, just say the word. While I'm on Tumblr, like, I follow a lot of artists. That's one of the things that makes Tumblr valuable as a platform at all. One of the few things that it's got going for it. And it's that, like, a lot of artists still use it just to post art, because, like, I don't know, although Tumblr compresses things pretty noticeably, it's still a better platform for it than something like Twitter or Blue Sky, although Blue Sky is rapidly catching up as being equivalent, if not better. So we'll have to see how that goes. I like the idea, I like the concept of, like, making your own website, basically, with your theme, although you can't really do much of that anymore. Where am I going with this? While I'm on Tumblr, if I see cool art from one of these people, I'll save it. I have a Google Drive folder that's like 600 or 700 images big at this point, and I'll just go and copy the stylings and the lighting and the rendering as a quick sketch. But I'll just do something really indulgent and trying to learn from that style. And usually that makes me a little better at art, and that helps me break through... This is very quiet. That helps me break through the intimidation, and it gives me inspiration to start drawing again and come up with my own ideas. It's also nice to, like, learn something about how somebody does something, you know? That would have a butt there. Anatomy is so hard, even when, like, you've spent countless hours studying it and, like, yourself in the mirror. I draw my Sona based on how I'm actually built in real life, and, like, that changes, yeah. But, like, the statue of Venus, everybody's got, like, a warped perception of how they look like. And on top of my already pretty awful spatial reasoning, it makes it kind of hard, you know? I do my best. Like posting art on Tumblr because the tag system lets me collect other people's art. Yeah. The Tumblr tag system is better than most social medias that have tags. Because, like, Tumblr's search feature is broken, but it's broken in the favor of tags. If you know the exact tag that something has, and well, the search feature's actually gotten a little better recently. If you know the exact tag that something has, Tumblr can pull it up for you, like, perfectly. It's a benefit and a fault of Tumblr, because that means, like, text that you look up you may never be able to find. But I love the tag system, and I like that you can, like, add director's commentary to any post. Because, like, tags don't persist through reblogs, so you can say something, and then, like, 2 reblogs later, nobody will know what you said. It gives you a reason to follow other people that don't make their own posts. Sometimes it's just interesting seeing what people have to say about things. And I think that's what gives Tumblr some strength as a social media instead of a, like, microblogging platform like it was originally conceptualized to be. I think it's why Tumblr had success as a social media, because, like, on sites like Twitter or Blue Sky, like, the things that your mutuals will repost, if you have mutuals with similar senses of humor, you may just see the same post 6 or 7 times, right? And while, like, that's good for helping find funny posts that other people may like, this does not look very good, like, at a certain point, when you see the same post a number of times, it gets annoying, you know? But Tumblr adds another element on top of that by letting you be more social with the people you follow, and that you get to, like, see their almost inner thoughts about it. And you get to see what other people tag things so they can save things. It's pretty cool. I think as a social media, Tumblr is the only website to have captured the, like, that gives you an actual good reason to follow somebody, you know? You could, aside from just seeing the post that they make, which is, like, obviously the main draw, if somebody's popular enough and other people, like, reblog their posts or retweet them on other websites, you would have no real incentive to actually follow them, because if their posts are funny enough, other people will put them on your dashboard anyway. But Tumblr differs from that, in that if you want to see somebody's, like, small comments about stuff, and sometimes, depending on privacy settings, their likes, well, no, you don't have to follow them to do that, but it is a good reason to. Fuck me, bro. Why did I choose to do foreshortening on my first sketch? They're kicking my ass in the pencil and paper. I'll do it, though. I'll get there. I keep trying to get better at it, but seriously, not being able to rotate shapes in your mind super effectively, like, is a major debuff for being an artist. I should have just done 3D, but I was far too stubborn. I grew up watching Looney Tunes and 2D cartoons and was, like, drawing My Little Ponies when I was a kid, right? And when I went to art college, it was like, by the time I got into art college, it was, the market for 2D animation had basically dried up. Unless you did something incredible, like a Steven Universe, it's obvious that the industry was trending toward another way. Movies are all 3D. There were very few, like, legitimate and non-predatory, which is a lot to ask for of a 2D animation market, but, or an animation market in general. I can get more cartoony with this. I don't know why I'm doing it in segments. That's one of my failings with art. To try and visualize the shapes better, I make everything, like, I try to just follow the anatomy, but if I can't visualize the anatomy, what's the point? Make it cartoony. Stylize it. That doesn't look much better. I'll figure out what I don't like about this. I think I need to put these things in space better, but that's the thing. So much respect and admiration for people who can do foreshortening. Yeah, me too. Because I'm yet to get there. Even after doing art and going to art college, I went. I didn't finish. I didn't get a degree or anything. But I did go, and I did get advised by, like, professors, this line of action could be better. And I took figure drawing classes. This shit just, sometimes it doesn't get easier. Sometimes the more you know about it, the harder it gets. Okay. Boobs up here. Ribs. Stomach there. Stomach takes up a lot of the torso. Then, like, you can start to get into hips. It'll probably be compressed. Larger angle this way because the body's stretching like that. It's like contrapposto is what I'm doing. See? I know my art terminology. Some of it. Not enough to mean anything, but enough to, like, I don't know. Not having knowledge of this stuff for as old as I am, like, as an adult, always feels a little embarrassing, you know? Oh, God, because of the way I did the body, the arm looks way too short now. No, this would have to be at a completely different angle. Next song, please. Thank you. I thought I was going insane. Let me start over. I got a little too big for my britches. I do detail before I do thumbnails, and it's a weakness as well. Well, if you're curious about how I make my art, this is going to be a great stream for that, because I told myself, I'm going to talk about other things this time. It's not just going to be about my art the whole time, but I don't know, hopefully it's interesting for somebody to learn about how I do this stuff. I like to think I like to think the stuff I talk about is interesting. It should be! I'm broadcasting it! The terminology. 'Cause, 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 'c Not me doing the same pose, but a more simplistic angle. Not me getting lost in the Dark Warlock's dungeon. You'd think if when I do tabletops and stuff, I would do like... Because of my personality, you'd think I'd do like a barbarian or fighter of some kind. No, motherfucker, I always pick Warlock. I can't help it. Spell Sword? If you give me Spell Sword, that's it. I won't ever do anything else. I love running around quickly and casting spells at people and stabbing them with a little sword and then running away like a dickhead. Can you kind of see the pose I'm going for here? It's like a, I cast fuck you. The one thing I can say I've gotten so much better at with practice is hands, dog. Look at the way other people draw hands and eventually it'll just click. It won't be easy all the time, but it will become understandable. Good. There, yes, yes, yes. Wizard outfit, huh? Usually when I'm making art, what takes up the most time is just the shape of the body in general. It's because of how much I've drawn myself, it's easier for me to draw fat people than it is skinny people. Whenever I draw skinny people, I have to like literally sketch the skeleton and then like go, okay, here's the muscle, here's the fat. Too much fat. Shave off a bunch. Nope, still too much. Make them smaller. It's funny the things that can become like your art blindness if you just don't practice it enough. That's why it's so helpful for me to draw Jame. They let me stop pretending that skinny people aren't real. Trying to design a greyhound furry ranger. That's cool. I love dogs with long snouts. I love a borzoi. Good. Back like, yeah! Far away. Everybody does this thing when they draw hands, cartoonishly, not comedically, where they'll like, thumb, okay, pointer finger, right, and then the middle finger and the ring finger are buddies. They never separate. Pinky there. Like, why are these together? When you spread your hand out, it's more like this. I know it's like a stylistic thing, but it's so funny to me when you can see other artists use it as a clutch, you know? Crutch, not clutch. It can make your art look, like, stylistic and cooler if used correctly, but... I don't know, that's just a me thing, I guess. The pet peeve. Some people have to work really, really hard to make their art look like anything, and I'm some people. And it takes a lot of effort to make my art look anything. And then there are people with, like... who will, like, trace stock photos for comics that get professionally lined and published. And it's just like, what am I doing, man? I don't have to be stressing about if I put the hip bones in the right place. Let me go trace the old man Gerald from Getty stock images. Okay. Evil wizard outfit. One thing about me, I find the big brimmed wizard hats a little boring, a little overdone. I'm a hater, I'll admit it. Let me make that... Actually, let me have... Yes, looking down. That adds another angle to it. It's not time to bring back the brimless conical wizard hats. That's a dunce cap. I think maybe I just don't like brimmed hats because it's hard for me to figure out how the bottom of it works. It would have to be like... I just want to end up making them look like cowboy hats. Cowboy hats are better than wizard hats, in my opinion. By a long shot. Like, it's not even close. Draw a figure 8 at the brim. That's usually how I imagine it. But then, like... What's this, then? What's this? And then I always have to move the face down. Why people tell you to use references. Because if you make everything up from scratch like I do, it's stupid, and it takes you 30 hours to do anything. Look up references. Photoshop stock images together. Don't, like, trace them? Trace them? Like, make it different in your own way, of course, but... By God, don't suffer. Don't suffer needlessly. Track is great. Hideki Naganuma, you son of a bitch, you knew what you were doing. I talk about that man every time I talk about the music on my playlist. I'm procrastinating on the outfit. The outfit's the worst part. Let me just get it over with. Okay. I can zoom in a little now, I guess. Well, if I had a wizard outfit, it would definitely have room for the horns. But I'd probably make them bigger, like, stylistically. That would be cool. Yeah, really big. And, like, sharp, maybe, like, leather? Maybe? When I get the money eventually, I want to wear more leather. It's a sexy material, yes, but it also just, like, is so practical and pretty much always looks good on you and is really easy to take care of. I love my leather boots. I am so glad I stopped wearing sneakers and tennis shoes for walking around. Okay, idea. Hat whose top is ragged and frayed open. Oh, Jesus, what are you doing there? And flops over the top of one side. Almost like a poncho. And to mimic my hair. Oh, Candy, you genius. Candy, that's brilliant. Why, thank you. I know. I know it is. I made it. The easiest way to start in fashion is just to, like, go look around for clothes you might like. That's it. If something looks cool, wear it. Look at how it makes your body look in the mirror. Find other stuff that's similar to it. If you don't like it, look for something else. Something like that. You know what? Spikes. Next to the horns? Yeah. Is it practical? No. Do I care? Definitely not. Second band, baby. We'll do 2 of them. The way the side of the hat down. Now, Candy, if you struggle with shapes, then why can you do rotating spikes on a cuff? And my answer to you would be, shut up. I started the first digital art I ever made was on my Flipnote, and it was animations of My Little Ponies to music videos. I was making PMVs way back in the day. And I don't know how, as a kid...
Follow me to a place called...
Not right now, friend. I don't know how, as a kid, I, like... was able to picture the rotations needed for that. And the spatial awareness and whatever. Like, I definitely can't do it. Recreational animation in, like, a micro-platform like that will never happen again. It's either a tablet or computer, and animation softwares on tablet are a nightmare unless you're on an iPad. I've looked into it. You have to use, like, a proper art program like Clip Studio Paint. And I usually make my animations, like my emotes and stuff, and this Talk Sprite on my tablet, just because that's where I do a lot of my art. And I don't mean like this tablet at the computer. I mean like... I have a Samsung tablet. Like a iPad tablet. I didn't want to get an iPad, though. I hate the Apple ecosystem. I'm never using it. Gloves here. Gloves. Great. Leather gloves? That's sexy. Fingerless leather gloves. And me. It's so unfair that, like, most of the exclusive good art softwares for tablets are on iPad only. Like, that's so dumb. Trench coat. I'm gonna give myself a trench coat. I love trench coats, man. Just, like, think of cool clothes and then wear them if they come in your size. That's my fashion advice. Imagine the kind of person you want to be. And if you can't imagine it, then think of pieces, and then it'll be easier from there. Wouldn't be hanging to my back like boxy. All of the fabric here. Wind pulls it away if it out. That's better. Good enough. I think I'm gonna have to be pinned. Stupid to put myself in a leather jacket for my Sona. I hate drawing them. I hate drawing the whatever these parts are called. The flaps on the front. I hate it. I've gotten better at it, but there are some angles where, like, what the fuck am I doing here, dog? Never skip out on geometry because all art is shapes. If you want to draw, never skip out on geometry. Everything is dumbass rectangles and circles and triangles. It's all shapes. It's shapes all the way down. This looks really cool. You could go dressed like this all the time. Jet Kuso of YouTube Bakugan community fame wears a wizard hat and cloak everywhere he goes. And if that plays with toys white man YouTuber can do it, then so can you. All the love to Jet. He's a nice guy. Yes, leather glove there. In all seriousness, art is just whatever you want it to be. It's anything that you make. Anything that anyone... I don't want to listen to Sonic's Adventure right now. Sonic May. Oh no, this is different. So, okay. I can explain this. Sonic Mayhem is not the name of the game that this comes from, nor is Descent into Cerberon. That is the title of this track. No, Sonic Mayhem is the band. This is a Quake 2 song. I didn't even play Quake 2. I found this on like a cool video game music compilation playlist. I'm a poser. I don't like FPS games for the most part. It's got to be a really good one to grab me. I think of clothes I want to get into a well, why don't I make it cooler mood? Piece by piece. Gotta go piece by piece. I didn't buy the leather boots I have with an outfit in mind. I bought them because I needed boots. I usually go for what's practical first, though. Stud these on the knuckles. Cool. I just got a pair that looks like this. I have a few pairs of leather gloves now. Gotta be fingerless. I got a thing about it. Go and up. Probably have that. Wearing cool clothes makes you feel like a completely different person. What do I want to be under the cloak? This is a very top-heavy design. Let's make the hat a little smaller. I was trying to make it, like, stylistically large. But looking at it here, I don't think I like it very much. Track is good. It's a little new metal. I like anything new metal. I just like new metal. It's gonna be difficult to... Oh no, we have a thing for this, don't we? Don't we? We have this that I can just use to take the horns out. Yeah. Thank God they thought of this. And be transform? No, that's not what I was looking for. Oh, scale and rotate is what they call the transform. Oh. Okay, I undid the thing. This track is from De Blob, the game De Blob. You know, for the Wii. I streamed it because I really liked the music from it and played it as a kid. And that game pissed me off so much. It was so shit. It was so bad. And it made me triply upset simply because the music was good and the game wasn't. How often does that happen, you know? It happens often enough to make me frustrated, but like not enough to expect it. Usually when a game has really, really good music, it's usually a pretty decent game. But they fooled me with that one. De Blob for the Wii is not good. Yeah, it got crazy high reviews in gaming magazines and websites for no reason. It's a bad game. They just poured a shit ton of money into the advertising. I think it's because it was a Ubisoft game and they wanted to make it like a franchise. They made a few De Blob games. De Blob, whatever. But like none of them were good. And they never ended up doing anything with it. That was good, I mean. That's better. I like that. It's a little contrast for the French coat. Make these lines less delta. Yeah. Yeah. Happy. Joy. I'm doing details because I'm procrastinating doing the shirt. I'm procrastinating doing fashion again. Shit. I tend to flit around the canvas like a hummingbird because I put off doing certain parts of it. You were stupid and gave... Oh no! Find a scale mail brush online. Good lord, don't do the scale mail manually. I mean, you can if you hate yourself. My drink went down the wrong pipe. I apologize. no, in your sketchbook. Oh no. Oh dear, I don't envy you. This is why I bought a tablet. This is why I bought a shitty little Samsung tablet. Why did you do that? You could just do the ice cream cone texture. I hate armor, man. I've drawn complicated pieces of armor for like commissions and stuff, but I will never draw that shit on my own. That sucks. Especially when it's like shiny plate mail. It's awful. Ooh, I know what I'll do. Swinging pendant. I'll just keep this pretty much the same as it already is. The pendant chain here, don't get them confused. The dog character doesn't have much going for it aside the armor. Injure them in some way? Take a leg, an arm, a finger? Give them a birth defect? Wait, I was going too detailed with that. Oh, I had an idea. I have an idea. It's a skull now. Video games are cheap if you pirate them. And that's the only thing I have to say about that. I really only buy a video game most of the time if I have to, and the other part of the time is when I'm intentionally trying to support the game dev. Most of the time, to try out a game, I will acquire it before buying it. For outfit. I see what you mean. Yeah, emulation isn't perfect. None of the things I say apply to everything. But, you know, you can emulate DS games on your phone now. There's lots of stuff to play if you know where to look. Big ass belts. Belts are cool. If all else fails, just like put on a big ass belt, and then whatever outfit you're wearing gets a lot cooler. Cowboys knew this. Rivets here. These are only rivets. No, they're rivets even if they are just holes. Because when you rivet leather, you put holes in it. That looks like a bunch of little nipples, I'm not gonna lie. I have to add some detail here to make it actually appear like a belt. The latch? I would never latch a belt there, but I guess if it's swanging off the side, you gotta buckle it somewhere. Okay. The last part of the belt at an angle, then, if it's actually clipped in. Yeah! Not half bad. This track is really good. This track is in Bon Marsh Cyberfunk. Man, I love green tea. This shit's so good. Another suggestion I got on my Tumblr, which I really liked. Ooh. Actually, let me save this really quick. Whoop. No looking at my folder structure for you. And the date. $25. Beep. Usually I save my art by year and then month, and then by file type. That way it makes it really easy to come back to this stuff later and know for the most part what things are. If it's just sketches like this, if it's finished pieces, I have folders with their own layouts for that. But it's really important to organize this shit, man. It's really important. Space over here. I'll keep drawing. Finish your sketch. I have a Discord you could post that in too. I would love to see it, regardless of where you post it. Going to a date in a nice sundress with a wrestling belt that takes up my entire stomach. You'd make an impression. If I went on a date with somebody who was ballsy enough to wear an outfit like that, I think it would work on me. I dyed my hair last night and it's fried, and I don't know what to do about it. I think I used too much bleach this time. But on the plus side, it means it stopped fighting me. I usually draw my hair like with a number of varying curls and stuff, and I think I posted about this on my art blog too. But legitimately, like, it has like 2 or 3 different curl types, and some of them just don't want to get along, you know? But when they're fried to fuck, like, it doesn't matter what their type is. It's kind of nice. My hair wasn't frizzy at all today because it held no moisture. Isn't that awesome? You can't unfry an egg. What? I've played Bomb Rush Cyberpunk, but not Jet Set Radio. I have a Dreamcast. I'll figure it out. Is that worth playing? I liked Bomb Rush Cyberpunk. It's a good game. It didn't keep my attention. Not that it's the game's fault. I am very ADHD. But it has a PC port, really? Good to know. I got kind of bored of doing the same thing over and over. In Bomb Rush, that is. I wonder if Jet Set Radio is more worth playing. I mean, the music is obviously great, and that's a big part of why you play it. In case you're wondering, that's a hand. I wonder why I was given the suggestion eating a big and juicy steak. I like the idea. I think it's hilarious. But, like, that's not like a fetish thing, right? It's a very specific thing to request of somebody. That's not what a fork looks like. They don't look like pitchforks. They have, like, a similar thing going on. Made them too wide. And I should just be able to... No. Can you solve this optical illusion of the impossible fork? It appears to have 4 prongs, but in reality it has 4 prongs. That fucking optical illusions Twitter account that posted optical illusions, but they were all like just normal images. Like they photoshopped the optical... This looks even less like a fork. What am I doing? They photoshopped them to be possible. So it was like, or just completely nothing. Like these 2 circles are completely different sizes. These 2 circles are actually different sizes. Can you tell? Really good. It's a good bit. Looks inside the bit, it shapes. It shapes every time. Most of our humor comes from shapes. Like, people will say, like, comedy derives from misery. No. Dumbass, comedy derives from shapes. You ever look at a circle and go, that's really funny? That's comedy. That's comedy, baby, and you didn't even know it. You're welcome, says the shape. And what am I sitting on top of, you may ask? It's a big steak. I'm not drawing the interior of a steak. I'm not doing all that. I'm having fun. I'm playing toys right now. My large yummy of exceptional size. I would kill for a pizza right now. I'm not in a place right now where it would be financially wise to order a pizza. I don't have pizzaing around money. But man, I thought of a white pie. And just kind of got lost in the beautiful world of food for a moment. I do love steak, though. Usually when I go grocery shopping for the month, I'll pick up, like, 1 or 2 to put in the freezer. Like a special treat. If I can afford it. It's crazy how much they're asking for meat nowadays. It's crazy how much they're asking for anything. But I live in Texas. What do you mean you want $15 for like an 11-ounce steak? We have cows everywhere. Go find one and slaughter it for cheaper. You were not asking this price of me 2 years ago. The cows didn't get more valuable. They're still the same animal. Are you stupid? I want to eat more food, but food is expensive. If I could afford to grocery shop like every week or every other week, I would be so much happier. I want to buy so much different food. It's kind of a problem. That's where most of my money goes, aside from rent. It's just finding yummies. I love my yummies. I really, really love my yummies. My yummies make me so happy, and there's nothing wrong with that. Oh, people have posted more things in the imp cord. The channel to post your suggestions is called #ImpDoodleChallenge. I'm looking at it now, so if you have suggestions... Like, one was just posted by... I'm gonna continue to call you this, Reninzalo. Candy OS Installation Guide. Which is a hilarious idea that I love. Because it gives me an excuse to do a little comic. The Meat Planet Diner comic has so many scrapped pages. Dude, none of the, like, early sketches that I, like, didn't polish look great after the amount of time. It's been, like, 2 years since I started that blog, I think, which is crazy. I don't love the way those have held up. My art's gotten better, and I've decided to put more effort into it as more people have taken interest. But, like, I love making comics. It's what I did in class as a kid, instead of paying attention. Doesn't matter. I'm still super duper smart. So, joke's on you. I drew my My Little Pony comics and I got smart, and there's nothing you can do about it. I used to make comics of, usually it was just like whatever I thought was funny, but there was a couple times where I left little comics of me arguing with an OC at the time, like on my assignments and stuff, explaining why I wasn't really showing my work. You request a tiny snail. Why, of course you can request a tiny snail. I am more than happy to do that. How would this even work? How would this... I'm overthinking it. I can feel it happening. I can feel myself wanting to imagine where their ribs are. It's just, it's not conducive to getting artwork done, Candy. Just make a pose that's somewhat believable. It doesn't have... That is somewhat believable. It doesn't have to be perfect. Shoulder. Shoulder there. There we go. Gonna be like a fist on the hip thing. That's not how that would work. For that. There we go. Arm. Me. If the army is so good, why haven't they made a leggy? Shorter. I made their arm too long. There we go. Then it's gonna be like a... That guy holding the money, sticking it out to the camera. And he's got 4 fingers out. Usually when you hold a page... Wow, that's... You've got your fingers pressed together like this. Not at that angle. I've given up doing the full shape of fingers by themselves, so now I am constructing them into little tater tots to represent each segment of the finger, as this has gotten hard. There we go. That looks okay. Ah, get that shit out of my mouth. That's not where that's supposed to go. Oh, I know. I know what I can do. This isn't foreshortening. This is the first panel that's obscuring the second. Yeah. I believe this is a Ridge Racer track. It is, yeah. This is a Ridge Racer track. What a good track. What a good song. Okay, I'm restarting this hand. It has defeated me in a cruel and evil manner. Suppose I want to redo this entire top part. Beep. Boop. Now that I have a pose I actually want James to be in, I can imagine this. Kind of pictured this concept like ass backwards. On. That's the right transform. Thank you, Clip Studio, for helping me fix my mistakes. I love you, and your transform tool is wonderful. Actually, I don't need to put a hand in there at all. Amy from the system, thanks for the follow. I'm locking in. That's so stupid. This is why I love making comics, man. You can do such stupid shit. And it's totally okay because it's a comic. Comics can be whatever you want them to be. It's wonderful. Let's save this image. That's my favorite part so far. I'm enjoying this. I'm having such a good time. I hope you are too, chat. I hope you are too. It's already been an hour. Shit. I'm gonna take a quick stretch break. Stretch break. Refill my drink. Get a snack. I'll be right back. Sorry. I gotta refill my drink. I paced around a little bit, had a stretch, ate a string cheese. I'm feeling good. I refilled my green tea. I love this shit. I would never drink water again if I could drink this every day. Specifically sweet. Sweet green tea. Can't do unsweet tea. Too bitter. Don't know why anyone would want that. Oh, right, this is what I left off. From. Right. Gotcha. What would I put on page 2? Oh, I know. When I was making the comic, I considered giving James like a little, like almost like a bucktooth there, and I think I might start doing it again. In the published ones, not just the sketches. I like making James look like a cute little dipshit. Almost sounds like a Boon's tower defense track. Love how epic this is turning out. Hey, thanks! Appreciate that. Okay, that's how that would work. Usually when I'm drawing faces and stuff, the squash and stretch takes priority over everything. So, like, if I'm making a character look suspiciously at something and they, like, furrow an eyebrow, their entire brow ridge moves down, right? But if it's just one eye, then the brow ridge kind of looks like this. This part of the brow ridge is pushing down more. This part is kind of curving a little bit to account for the skin still being connected. So usually, if you're making a character squint, like in cartoon style, like I do, you draw kind of like the Sonic eyes shape, like an 8. But to give it more visual interest, you make it asymmetrical. So you'll often see when I draw squints, the eyebrow ridge follows a line. And so the rest of the face has to accommodate too. Like, usually, if you draw two eyes next to each other, the bottom of the eye, like your cheeks, which would be right here, they also move. If you're, like, depending on what emotion you're expressing. Like, disgust often raises these corners of the mouth, and in anger. And you can start to see the gums and the back molars, depending on how high somebody's lips rise when they talk. So if a character is disagreeing or, like, expressing disinterest, then you would have one side of the mouth raised more, which would poke into the space allowed for the eye there, because the cheek is moving up. So I put the nose there because it's like, if the character is facing this way, then that's where the nose would go. I usually just put everything on a ball. Makes it easier that way. And then the middle of the middle of the eyeball, where the pupil would sit, that's where the mouth starts. So I'd start it here. And then because I've exaggerated this eye, I've moved where the pupil would be down here. Which means I can pull the mouth all the way out here without it looking too weird. Even cartoonishly, paying attention to the proportions of things and making things look kind of as if they're affected by the same physics in real life, especially on the expressions, makes them far more memorable and, like, acceptable. I draw this corner of the mouth raised because they're expressing disinterest or, like, a disagreement, confusion, that sort of thing. Bada bing, bada boom. That one's pretty, like, normal, so I'm gonna push it even further. James isn't really expressing anything larger than that. They're just kind of asking a question, which is what I'm about to write as the dialogue once I'm done sketching. You'll see. It'll make sense. Trust me. You can trust me, chat. Chat, I'm your friend. One of the things I struggle with a lot in drawing is clothing. And specifically, how clothing falls on the body. It's a difficult thing to visualize in your head, and trying to do so will make you drive yourself insane unless you've studied that specifically. But usually, like, clothing is like squares of fabric sewn together. So, like, if a square of fabric was placed on a 3D item, the square would have to bend. You can fill in the 3D shape from there, and obviously it changes depending on perspective, but this is the same thing that the sleeve of a t-shirt does on an arm. But not everything in clothing is perfect cones. Like, the edges of t-shirts have to account for shoulders, so oftentimes if you held out the fabric... Sorry, they're not all perfect cylinders. This would be a cone. The chest part of t-shirts is usually where they get more rectangular, but the arm doesn't fill up the entirety of the space. In a sleeve, usually, this part is hanging underneath your arm. And there. This is all t-shirt down here. That's sleeve. The sleeve doesn't cling to the skin or the arm. It sags because it's pulled by gravity. And clothing are made to hang off the body. Not... Well, most of them are. There are skin-tight things, and You usually have to smooth out the body shapes, but that means you have to know where the wrinkles are. Anyway, so you understand that clothing falls based on gravity. It clings to physical surfaces that are connected to it, but there is still loose fabric that hangs off the side. That's when you can start understanding how to craft clothing wrinkles based on angle. Say you've got an arm. Very simple, 90-degree angle. And at the end. And for those of you who don't care about how art works, I apologize if this is not very entertaining. I do care about how art works. It's why I do it. Aside from, you know, wanting to make things. This is... Okay, imagine you have half of a P-Jack, right? That's how you measure, you know, things for, like, baking recipes. 1/2 P-Jack. And then up from there is a table jack. Okay, so you've got a t-shirt sleeve hanging off of this arm. At the end of it, because it has to exit out of the arm, and I'm exaggerating the size of this shirt for visual brevity, it's going to be a circle, but that's a 2D shape, and this is a 3D shape we're trying to wrap around it, another 3D shape of the arm. So it continues as the cone, right? That makes sense. It would hang there. You find the points where the body flexes to fold the fabric to put wrinkles. So I wouldn't make this perfectly over there. I would make it trace the angle of the muscle, because this is where the fabric is sitting on top of it. Now that pulls on the fabric because the fabric isn't perfectly shaped the same as the bicep. So the fabric adjusts based on that angle. It is pulling here. Gravity in the shape of the arm is pulling down on the fabric, which is what causes these wrinkles. This would be like a puffy t-shirt sleeve. I'll do a better example of a long sleeve. Let's see if I can undo all the way. I love you, Clip Studio. Thank you for allowing me to undo that many times. I'll do it in purple, to make it easier to see. No, I'll do it in red. Actually, can I do yellow here for those of you who are red-green colorblind? I could. Long sleeve, right? Basically the same principle. Conical, spherical, same thing. Except, like, that leaves you, like, a really angular-looking sleeve. When you know that's not how sleeves look, you know? So let's think about the cuff first. Long sleeves often have a smaller cuff, so that they stay up further on your arm. So that could be really close to the skin. Depending on the angle the arm is at, this changes. The direction the circle is facing. The arm is kind of at an angle like this right now. So that's why I drew this half circle the same angle as this here. And stop me if this isn't making sense. Or you don't care. I just assume y'all care. You're watching the stream. Of course you care. You could, because gravity would be pushing things down like this. Next, when you're... That is really hard to see. I'll switch back to red. It would be pulling the sleeve down at this point here, because that's the elbow. That's where the fabric is bending. So depending on how you see the fabric, if you were looking at it from this angle, you'd probably see this fold. If you were looking at it from this angle, you would probably see this fold because of what shape is in front. I'm going to imagine it from this angle. I'm also going to get rid of this yellow arrow. So I'm going to draw the fabric creasing here. This is where the fabric bunches up because the skin, or the body is bending, which is making the fabric bend. I would draw my wrinkles here. Or, I don't know, maybe even here. It depends on which part of the arm, the muscle is pushing this fabric. I'll just say it's there. Well, then you think, okay, because the fabric is wrinkled, it is not long enough to hang off of the arm. the fabric that would be extra here is instead being pulled this way because it's creasing. So it wouldn't be hanging off of the arm if it wasn't a very, like, wide long sleeve shirt. It would probably stick out just a little bit, enough for you to see the depth. And then I'd keep most of it close to the arm. You could do a wrinkle here as well, leading back to the crease here, because that's where the fabric is being pulled. Creases usually happen in the direction that gravity is causing the fabric to fall on the body. It changes depending on the material of the clothing, how tight the clothing is, what size it is compared to the person wearing it. But it's a good rule of thumb for trying to understand where to draw wrinkles if you can't picture in a complicated... Why did my music stop? I'm doing this shit again. If you can't picture in a complicated way how the fabric falls... Oh, wow. The entire... Play another song. Please? Please? Behave? I was listening to that? Just skip ahead to the next one. Actually, let's skip one more. Whatever, man. I gotta stop being picky or else I'm gonna sit here skipping all day. Me when I'm a child, skipping on the sidewalk. Like, physics and the way that gravity pulls on objects is a significant amount of why you draw things the way you do. That's why your perception is based on 3D shapes and physics. It's because, like, when you're trying to draw things, you draw on what we see in the world. Our knowledge of, like, perspective and shape and all of that comes from how we perceive the forces of motion and gravity affecting our everyday items. So if you think about what you want to draw in terms of those physical forces at play, you can break it down in a way that makes it not so intimidating. And that's why looking at references helps, because you're looking at the way shape and gravity affects form in real life. Even tracing makes you better as an artist, just by the virtue of making you look at more of that stuff. You'll be a better artist if you can draw, like, using your knowledge of it. You'll be a better artist if you study it instead of, like, taking the test with the textbook open all the time. I made this bicep too long. Made that arm too long, rather. Go probably this. But that's why I struggle with shape and form, because, like, I put the cart before the horse. I think about skeletal structure before I realize, like, because of the perspective, it doesn't make any sense. I was too busy studying anatomy to study, like, perspective, and it comes to bite me in the ass. I prioritized one thing far over the other, and now it's a weakness, but I'm getting better at it. It just takes time. Anyway, the punchline of this comic. I hope that was illuminating as to why I draw things the way that I draw, even if you didn't learn anything from it art-wise. I feel like if you care about the things that somebody makes, color too, definitely. Oh god, don't get me started on light. I'll have a breakdown. Hearing somebody talk about what they make is at least interesting, even if, like, you aren't a huge fan of the person. Which I imagine you have to be if you're here. Studying light, like, figure drawing helped me so much with learning color and light, because you had to take your charcoal and fucking make it look like the shadows in front of you. And to do that, you kind of have to understand why the light is doing what it does. How's the art going? I'm finishing up a little mini comic right now. I'm talking about why, I draw things the way that I draw. I just did a very long breakdown as to how I draw clothing. And why I draw it the way that I draw. Now you got here just in time to see the punchline. Let me move everything to the left. You don't need to see the entirety of that word. Here we go. Now it has room for the text. Let's make this a little smaller and group it together. I was thinking of a different punchline, but then I realized it doesn't make any sense. This is the Meat Planet AU where I've been slipping estrogen into everything Jamie eats. I've been lacing all their eggs. I thought that was gonna be the fucking freedom motif. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. No, that's not the freedom motif. You get the Azrael thing. You get what I'm saying. What else have people been suggesting? I've heard this one too many times. Give me something else. That'll work. This is from Loop Hero, I believe. Let me double check. Show is. Let's see, let's see. Oh, Kirby Imp. A lot of people wanted to see that. I kind of had one of those. Hang on. I made one of these already, actually, that I use for my Superstar Sunday intros. But I can push the concept a little further. Let's see. The people want Kibby. What can I say? What's Spider Solitaire? I've never heard of that before. What if I was, like, fucked up and evil? That famous, that iconic face from the animated Kirby TV show where Kirby makes the face. That scene in Kirby Right Back at Ya where Kirby makes the penis face. People tried to make creepypastas out of that. That just confused me. He's Kirby. He's not, like, scary. He's cute. Solitaire, but it hurts you. Interesting concept. Why are you doing it? If it hurts you? Do the spiders have to bite you to win? Like it. Okay, say no more. I understand. If anybody, I am tuned to the brave pursuits of the noble pervert. I speak your beautiful language. Damn it, I redid and undid my erase. Come on. Go. Better? Ooh. Hey. Do the thing that I want you to do. Do the thing and make it look like I want it to look like. And don't argue with me. Thank you. You ever just argue with your art program until it works? Until you feel something? They should make a game called Pervert Solitaire. Well, I don't have that, but I do know of a game called Sex Chess. The little this. I'm gonna have to look up what this looks like, I think. What does the flame crown look like? Kirby. Higher. Ability. If sex chess can happen, then pervert solitaire is definitely next on the menu. There's been a lot of fire crown designs in the Kirby games over the years, haven't there, huh? They've done a lot of different ones. What would pervert solitaire be like? What if the cards had like like Finissi and Bagana on them? And like when you get a solitaire, you like the game like does a big cum. Like sex. Like sex would. Like sex does. It's funny because it's like what if it was sex? What if sex is there? They're gonna put me down soon. And it's okay. Because I played Pervert Solitaire with all their wives. Like a big mustache. Yeah, rotate that shape in space. Pervert. I don't have to do the back, because the back of it's on fire. I understand how they got away with this now. They're geniuses for that one. Look okay? Whatever, man. I don't work here. I mean, I just work here. I made the rules. Hey, man, I made the rules. I just follow them. Hey, man, I made all the rules. Blinks and I remove you from existence.
Follow me to a place called Tay.
Buddy, I said not right now. I don't have that in me. I don't have the energy that Fin would want. There we go. Oh, shoes are like pointy. Okay, I fit the little things in there. There we go. The little blush. I love that Kirby has blush. I love that they make Kirby like a little pink, adorable little cutie pie. And they didn't make Kirby a girl. Kirby just happens to be like a really cute little buddy. Like a really cute little thing. For many other characters that are pink and cute and round and small, they get the girl. They put a bow tie on them later. But no, Kirby's just a little smile pig. Probably fine. I just work here. I make the rules. I can do anything. He's a bouncing baby boy. Exactly. Kind of You kind of see what I'm doing here? I don't know if I could do that all the way, but I could maybe do like a lick of flame or something. That kind of mimics my hair. I guess my horns would turn into parts of the crown, huh? Where else am I gonna fucking put them? That's cool, like a double horn thing going on once with the jewel. That's me as Fire Kirby. What else would fit me? I did Hammer. I did like a basic version of Hammer. I do really like Ninja. Oh, Ninja Power would be fun. I would love to do a me Ninja. Let me do that. With the old design. The one that looks kind of like a samurai. A Ronin. No, a samurai. They kind of took away some of the abilities, swag in the new designs. Wow, this old ninja ability had a kind of a complicated hat design. Look at that. Look at that. And Reddit image embed. It has these like star metal embellishments on it. It had a cape that was also the hat. It had the ponytail with it. It had a great silhouette. I get why they would change it. Because drawing this is tricky. What was that?
It's happy awesome hours.
Oh, thanks, Echo. Oh, Jesus, I forgot I had TTS on. That's fine. I'll keep it on. If you want to megaphone something into my stream, I guess that's how you do it. Regardless, thank you, Echo. Sincerely appreciate it. It is happy awesome hours. How would I make Ninja Kirby? Let me do the damn circle first before I do the hand. It's a great track. That looks like a boobie. It's not a boobie. Don't ban me. That's how I can make this look cooler on me. Yeah. You see the vision here? Like, jumping back? Shoes are in kind of weird positioning for that. Yeah! I'll make this one. Sure. Hang on. Free transform me. Thank you, Clip Studio Free Transform Tool. I love you. You are my best friend. I'm never touching Photoshop again. It used to be my main art program for years and years. I tried a couple other popular ones and just really was unhappy with them, so I was like, I'll use Photoshop until something else is cheap. And then Clip Studio got cheap. A permanent license was lowered from like $200 to like $89 or something like that. And I tried it, the demo version, and I really liked it. It has like... It's just an incredibly powerful and convenient tool. I highly recommend it. It makes my world so much easier. It's on tablets too, very conveniently. They're not paying me for this, by the way. I like it. I was very pleasantly surprised. And you don't have to perpetually renew a license. You can if you don't want to pay for the full license, but, like, you can just own it. Which, thank God. That should be, like, the bare minimum for art programs these days, but it's not, so you take what you can get. That is, if you do want to acquire it legitimately. I was having kind of a hard time finding a good, repack of this. I think there are options available, but I tried the legitimate version. I wasn't satisfied with the options available. So, you know. Okay. How would I do... It's a ponytail, and I can't really do a ponytail. So I would have it maybe... tied down the middle instead, like a half of a hat. Track is so good. Toby hit us with this in the first, like, major gameplay area of Deltarune. That looks kind of like a hard hat. That's not what I'm going for here. Oh, I know. Make it slanted. There we are. I thought about birds today. I thought about pigeons. That's what got me through my work day today. I almost broke my nose at work today. I got headbutted. That was no fun. So I thought about pigeons. They're so round and cute, and they make cute little noises. I don't understand how anybody cannot like pigeons. Pigeons make me extraordinarily happy. Most birds do, but, like, domesticated birds are my favorite. Parrots, parakeets, cockatoos and cockatiels. I love them. I love them so much. Pigeons are great. I had a friend years ago who had pigeons, and I was jealous of them, obviously, for having pigeons, but I would hear them in the Discord calls, like, cooing in the background. And they'd always be like, oh, sorry if you can hear them. I'm like, no, put your damn bird on the phone. Stop talking. I want to hear your fucking bird. Apparently you can house train them, which I wasn't aware of. I mean, like, potty train them. House train them. They're domesticated. Of course you can house train them. So that means the prospects of owning a pigeon isn't impossible. It wouldn't need to be walked either. That was the difficulty with owning a dog. And I miss Max. I miss him very much. He was a great dog. But birds wouldn't need to be taken outside. You just don't turn the fan on. Simple as. Or you do, and you teach them about it. Actually, only one species of parrot that is properly domesticated, the budgie. That is true. That is true. Parrots and cockatoos need a lot of stimulation. And, like, specific and expensive care. And, like, a lot of space as well. Birds are not an easy pet to keep. I grew up with them, though, so I love parakeets so much. That's what I grew up with. I grew up with 2 parakeets. I named them Steve and Pete because I thought giving human... This truck is loud. I'll balance this. I'll balance all these tracks off stream. I forgot to do that again. I thought giving them, like, office cubicle names was really, really funny. And it is. And I was right for that. Oh, that was a short track. I feel like we just heard this. That's more like it. And we got them from a Petco, not sponsored, don't endorse, obviously. But they were originally so in such bad health and in so anxious. But I helped them get comfortable with people, and eventually they became a bonded pair. Really cute to see, actually. They would groom each other, get into fights. It was really funny. They both have such distinct personalities. Pete was a lot more affectionate than Steve was. Steve wouldn't mind being handled, but, like, he much preferred being on his own. He wasn't super interested in human contact. I didn't get to socialize him when he was very young, so we kind of made the best out of what we could. But Pete loved the attention. And then Steve would get jealous. Steve would get very jealous. Oh, Steve hated when we were just playing with Pete. He would get mad at us. He would watch us from inside the cage and squawk at us sometimes. It was really funny. They were like grumpy old men. A grumpy old gay couple. I miss having birds. I really do. They were loud. They chirped constantly. But there's nothing like keeping birds in the house. There really isn't. They're such wonderful creatures. You can ruffle their little feathers, and you can hear their tiny hearts beating. And then they fly around faster than you can run, and it's awesome. Birds are great. That's me if I was Ninja Kirby. Also, hi, Val. I was in the middle of a tangent, but I do see you. Hello. Oh, yeah. Extra web. I was gonna acknowledge, and then got distracted. Why my room stink? Not yet. Not yet. When the room stinks, that's when the stream ends. Oh yeah, Lost, Stolen, or Strayed wanted me to draw their cat. If everything goes well, you'll be adopting new rats. I have considered owning rats or rodents. They just live such short lives. I would just really need to accept that. See this itty. Man, this cat makes such a shape. Let's do a pen for this. Stinking it. Me. I have a smell, in case you haven't noticed. We'll go back to this one. I really like this pen. Well, there was another one that I had. I think I have it here. No, it's this one. Add. Or is this my pencil? Wait, what am I doing right now? This is pencil. Oh, it wouldn't let me do it in pen. Alright, whatever, man. Wait, this is a pen. Huh? It changes it to a second pencil. You're rage baiting me. You are rage baiting me. Alright, whatever. I can cope. I can cope with anything. I can cope with anything. That's what you say right before they get you. Right before the getter gets you. Cat is an interesting shape. Oops. Oops. That's better.
Give me a break. Give me a break.
This is the damn pencil again. Whatever. I've committed. They're trolling me.
Thank you for considering it.
It's my pleasure. You have quite an interesting animal here. Wow, I've made their leg very big. No, I haven't. That's about where I see that. For those of you who don't know the source of this image that I'm drawing, that's your loss, isn't it, for not being in my Discord? If you are, well, go look. It's in the Imp Doodle Challenge channel. There's a little animal in there. Would be more like this. Yeah. Then you've got like a little smudge. I'm procrastinating on the body by drawing the face again. Damn it! Just do it. It's not scary. It is scary. It's really scary to draw. It's permanent. It's not permanent, but like you're trying to make something. After you've made it, you've permanently made it. You can get rid of it, but it doesn't change the fact that you've made it. What if I made it in such a bad way that my house explodes, you know? Can't happen, but, you know. What if it happened? Can't happen, but like, what if, like, I have the worst day on Earth and it happens? What if I have it worse than anyone else has ever had it ever, and that's it? What if it happens then? Can you tell I'm anxious? I play it off, but I'm a very anxious person. I worry about everything, dude. The world is so scary. But in order to be the hater that God asks of me, I've got to be strong. So if I'm gonna hit somebody in the head, I can't be worrying about it while I do it. I just gotta do it. You can worry about it after it's done. That's how I cope. You do it first, and then you can allow yourself to be scared later. That's healthy and normal, I think, right? I've drawn half of this cat floating away from the other half. Let's fix that. That's like touching. Am I touching? That's about right. This is incredibly, excellently silly. I'm glad. This is such a delightful image you've provided. I really like the way that this cat is. This is an awesome cat. Why is his ass doing that? The humble shrimp. He's going straight in my cocktail. God made him silly. God did make him real silly. They messed up when they made it him. In like a happy way. Cat eyes are funny. There we go. They spilled too much silly juice. That really happened. Cats are funny. Another pet I can't decide. For the longest time, I was convinced I would get a Sphinx cat. One of them hairless fuckers, and I still would love one. I just know that I probably couldn't, like, dote on them as much as they need because I have a 9 to 5. That's out of the house, you know? I was able to take Max out when he needed to be walked. I'd crate trained him for when I wasn't home. Also, he was a Chihuahua. I kind of had to crate train him or else he would bark at everything. I would have most certainly gotten a noise complaint. But a cat, aside from not having a lot of space for stuff like a litter box or a cat tree, I could make the space, but it would be tight. Even beside that, like, I could get a cat. I don't want to deal with lint rolling all the hair. I could. I did that with Max, so I know it wouldn't stress me out too bad. But it's just, they're just... Maybe I should just bite the bullet and get one. I couldn't get a Sphinx cat, though. I'm just not home enough. Those things need a lot of attention. Maybe once I found a hot, older, rich woman to marry. As if. I don't know. I wanted... I don't know if I should talk about that on stream. I wouldn't want to, like, live with somebody that I'm using for money. I would rather, like, live with my friends, you know? And his little these. He's got, like, a raccoon tail. Maybe that's a toy behind him? It does look like a raccoon tail that he's got. Shade him very lightly. Looks like a light gray. So I can push a little harder. Differentiate this lighting. Very fluffy. Exceptionally fluffy. Delightful day. I like your thing. Got a nice thing. He's got like a old Japanese guy and an old Japanese painting type decorations on his head. Looks like he would be an emperor. Your cat an emperor? You may be entitled to financial compensation. Click here to find out how. Like the rim lighting on the ear, that's cute. Light is shining through ear. The outside of it. I don't think this is a cat, I think this is a raccoon. I think you got the wrong animal. I can see how you would make that mistake. He's quite cute. I wish raccoons and possums were domesticated. Foxes. I definitely couldn't have any of those. Foxes would be way too much upkeep. It would need so much fucking exercise. Stimulation. But it would be cute and fun. What if I went to a friend's house and they had a pet fox, you know? What if other people had animals I could play with? Do any of you have a foxy you want to share? Do any of you have a foxy? If so, please check the fucking cameras. I've not been checking them. We're gonna die. He's gonna come out of the pirate cove and eat us. He's got like a cute little rim lighting thing on the outside here too. That's the real reason raccoons make bad pets. I figured. Having exotic animals is bad because, like, yes, it takes them out of their ecosystem, but also, like, you are literally just torturing that thing because you want to keep it in a house. Like, it cannot get the stimulation it wants or needs. Like, nobody should have a tiger, you know? Keeping a monkey in your house is, like, crazy. They're seed spreaders. They'll shit everywhere, and they need so much, like, socialization and enrichment. It's just stupid. Like, obviously these people don't know anything about the monkeys before they buy them and decide to turn them into pets. But, like, imagine not doing the most basic level of research on an animal that you want to keep in your home, you know? Makes me sick. That thing's not a toy, you know? It's an animal. I should use my kneaded eraser for this. Isn't it cool that this art software has a kneaded eraser in it? Photoshop didn't have a damn kneaded eraser. Maybe somebody made one for it, but that's just in base Clip Studio Paint. I didn't download that. This pencil I downloaded because it's like a nice charcoal. I love doodling with a charcoal pencil. If I didn't hate the texture of charcoal in real life so much, I probably would use it more often, but I hate it. It bothers me so much. Feeling of like having shit on my hands is such a big no-no for me. I despise having dirty hands. Feeling something under my fingernails that's kind of loud, is enough to make me barf. A little better. It's still loud. Damn, bitch, relax. Oh, I'll take charcoal over chalk any day. I can at least touch charcoal without puking. Chalk, don't even let it touch my fucking hands. I hate chalk. Chalk is the worst. It's the worst. It doesn't feel good when you write with it. It doesn't feel good, like, having it on your hands. Storing it is a nightmare. Chalk is awful. Fuck chalk. Yeah, it's a similar thing with sculpting as well. I don't mind it so much. The clay being thicker kind of helps it not be so disgusting, I think. I'm not exactly sure. There's not like a logical reason that I don't like it. It's just a textural thing, so I can't explain it, but... This cat's turning out really well. I don't know. If something's got like a kind of a yucky texture, like powdery is something I really hate. I don't really eat mochi, even though I like the flavor of it, because the powder texture just bothers me so much. Marshmallows I usually avoid. They have like the starch coating. I can't even like grab too many handfuls of shredded cheese back to back without washing my hands, because like touching the starchy anti-mold and moisture coating on the outside just is the worst, and getting my fingers covered in it is so bad. So bad. It's awful. Awful. If it was up to me, the base way to interact with everything on the planet would be, like, gloves on, I think. Sometimes there are things you want to touch with your fingers. I don't hate all texture. But gloves would be, like, a standard for eating. Going to a restaurant, they would provide you eating gloves. Yeah, chips are a very similar thing. At least you get to lick off the yummy at the end. No, well, I don't hate it, but, like, don't like to snack on chips very much. Like, it's calories I could be using for other stuff, first and foremost. I would rather have, like a cup of ice cream instead of a bag of chips or something. But yeah, it leaves the shit on your hands. You gotta wash the leftover yuck and saliva. Well, of course, but, like... if I'm gonna do that anyway, I might as well get a yummy finger yum treat at the end of my eating. You know? Chips are better than other super powdery foods for that reason. I'm not licking the damn anticoagulant off of my fingers after using handfuls of shredded cheese. You got me fucked up if you think I'm gonna do that. You want me to go to torture hell. It's a cute kitty. It's a really cute cat. I should get a cat. I would like a cat. That's the conclusion I've been coming to lately. I want a cat. I'm kind of lonely in my little humble computer world without a pet, so I think maybe I'll get a cat. Maybe I'll make it a blog too. It's nice being able to go back and look at old videos of Vax on the blog. I'm glad I kept it up. He was a cutie patootie. Yeah, I'll get like a Neopet or something. Neopets make me so sad because they can't die. They can starve for years, but they cannot die. Why haven't we done this with other pets? Why don't we make any pet that we want never die? Like, the meta needs to catch up, because Neopets are winning, honestly. Command prompt, guys. Although, I do kind of want some hats for my virtual pet, yeah. Yeah, that would be cute. The last one, though, okay? You can't just tell me what to do. There's a Sonic game on the DS song. It didn't have to go this hard. It really didn't have to go this hard. Itty tat. Shadow there. Contrast there, so let's get darker up here. Go. Things out a little bit. Texture. I like how this turned out. Think might be where I wrap it up for the night. Other stuff I need to get to. And as I continue to shade this. It's been a lot of fun. I definitely will do more of these. I never expect people are as excited for these as they are. I usually just assume, well, A, because I've got bad imposter syndrome, that, like, nobody wants to watch my shit anyway. But, like, after I get over that, it's like, nobody wants to see the art part. Nobody really cares about that. But the turnout for these is always, like, way over my expectations. Way, way more people show interest in these than I thought. And that has been really flattering. So I appreciate all y'all turning out for this. Looking forward to this since I announced it. Aww. Let me do one more thing. That is how you spell pleasant, right? pleasantly rotund shrimp. See if anyone else is alive that I can raid into. Doo-doo. Turn this music up a little. Now that I'm not in so. God, mute the tab. Mute the tab. That's better. Oh, James is live. Shit. I forgot about that. Yeah, let's do that. We'll do that. We'll say hi to Jamie. That sounds like fun. I've muted this, right? Yes. The raid message will be... Your shrimp is looking pretty round. Ugh. Well, that didn't work quite right. Thanks for joining me, y'all. Thanks for hanging out with me while I doodle and chill and talk about nothing. This was a lot of fun, and I really appreciate it. I really do. I appreciate every single one of you for showing up. I will do more of these, for sure. Absolutely, I will do more of these. If not this week, then next week. Look forward to Superstar Sunday, as always. I will be finishing Kirby's Epic Yarn. That's going to be a lot of fun. We'll see what I do from there. Raid message. Girl, your shrimp. We'll do that one. Girl, your shrimp. Girl, comma, your shrimp. They had a Jane for me. And for the pernicious VOD watchers, get out of here. You're making the room stink.